Today we're talking about Maniac Cop, which came out in 1988. It's a fairly famous horror slasher film. Maniac Cop, is it a great film? No. It's a fun little slasher though. It was pretty fun for me. The main issue I have with it is the ending. The ending of Maniac Cop makes no sense. The basic plot of the movie is that you've got basically this one cop and he's going around killing people. Then at some point it gets out that there's a killer who's either pretending to be a cop or he is a cop, and so everybody goes crazy. And they're trying to find the person who did it. It seems like there's some, maybe it's somebody in, their police force, and so who is it? They're trying to find it. So there's a detective trying to find it. It's your general kind of murder mystery, kind of basic, guys going around killing people. The main character is trying to find out who did it. It's the basic plot of a lot of these movies. The main difference it has is that one of the main characters, Jack, played by Bruce Campbell, is another police officer who he was doing some maybe not too good great things, but he wasn't the killer. The thing is, there was enough kind of mystery about his situation to where you could think maybe he is the killer. And so people end up thinking that he may be the killer because he kind of gets set up to a certain degree. They're trying to find this guy to prove his innocence at this point, right? At some point in the movie, near the end, everybody just starts dying, okay? They know who the Maniac Cop is. It's this old cop. They thought he died, but he didn't die. He's really still alive, or he came back to life somehow. He's come back and he's trying to get revenge, but he's also kind of gotten crazy, so he's just killing anybody. There's one person that knows about him, and it's this kind of old flame to a certain extent. She was the one that was given his body, and she's kind of been helping him. So at some point they're trying to question her. Bam, he comes and he kills her. So she's gone. The detective, who's been kind of the main character of the whole movie then, a little bit after that, he throws him out the window. So he's gone. So the main two people that know that he's not the killer are gone. Also, the people that know who the killer is are gone too. So there's another killer still out there. He's ran away. So now he's run away, so it looks like he killed all these people because they didn't see the Maniac Cop there. So it looks like he's on the run. There's just one girl that knows that he isn't the Maniac Cop, and she's the main witness for him. But she leaves with him, and so then it ends up looking like she's just working with him. And so it gets to be that, okay, they found this other guy, the coroner or whatever. He knows that the Maniac Cop wasn't dead, but he's not going to speak about it. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this. It's not my fault. I'm not going to do anything about this. So they can't use him as a witness. So they're like, okay, what do we do? We're just going to have to just hope and try to convince them that he's the Maniac Cop and we're not, and hope that that's good enough, So they go and try to do that, and they're like, nope. He ends up staying outside because he's like, they just arrest me on spot. They don't know you're bad necessarily for sure yet, so maybe you should have a chance. She goes in, they try to arrest her, then they're like, haha, okay. They go out, they get killed by the Maniac Cop right then and there. And so these are the people that, like, if the Maniac Cop killed somebody else, they would be the ones to see, oh, the Maniac Cop's somebody else. Okay, so, they'll prove his innocence. Nope, they're dead. There's another cop. He dies. So then what happens, and this is the most confusing part, the police see Jack outside, and they're like, he's the cop. So they get him, they put him in this, like, transport vehicle for prisoners, like a van. She runs out. The Maniac Cop's trying to get her. He sees the van. He somehow gets down. He gets in the van and he drives off. Okay? She doesn't notify any of the cops. It's unclear if any of the cops even see this other guy. She gets in a police car with a random cop and convinces him to go and chase them. Okay? So you're like, okay, they've got this one cop. He'll see that the Maniac cop is this other guy. And then they'll have enough evidence to put him away, right? You're like, okay, that makes sense. That could work. They go over to his hideout. They have a little shootout, a little fight. This guy gets shot and he dies. So they have no witnesses throughout the entire. Every witness that sees the Maniac cop and knows who he is, and has seen him as well as Jack at the same time, so he knows he can't be the killer. They all die. So then the police come, and at that point they've defeated the Maniac cop. He's probably dead of his own doing. Kind of, he's kind of fell into the river with the van. So at the end of the movie, the cops have all come. They pull out the van, and he's not in the van. And so there's no body. Is he dead? Did he get away? But they don't have any body, so they don't even know he existed. And so it's like, okay, they have no evidence that there is any other guy. So why don't they just arrest him still? And that's the main issue I have with the movie is they never prove his innocence. And then the movie just ends. And it's like, so is he going to jail? Like, you could have had that as an ending. It's kind of a dark ending, that he ends up being put away for it. But they don't even do that. The way it looks at the end is like the police believe him, right? At that point. But there shouldn't be any reason why they'd believe him almost. Because it's like none of the policemen saw him and the Maniac cop at the same time. So how would they know that they're different people? How would they know that he's innocent? And so it's like, okay, maybe they were able to find out some evidence later on. Maybe that could get him to be innocent, maybe. But it's just very confusing why they believed him already when the last time we saw the policemen before they came there, they still thought he was the bad guy and they were going to put him away. And so it's like, when did that change happen? We need to see a scene where they see both of them and they're like, oh, there's another guy. What's he doing? But it's like, it doesn't seem to be that anybody else knew about the Maniac cop, the actual one. And so the ending just makes no sense to me. Apparently there's a sequel. There's maybe 2 sequels. It's quite possible that this is explained in the sequels more. It's also possible it's not explained at all. I'm probably going to watch the sequels just to see if it gives more kind of info on how he somehow didn't end up in jail from all this. But I feel like maybe it's a dumb movie. It's not supposed to be thought into that much. But it's like, this seems like a very basic thing. You set up the majority of the movie was on this guy trying to prove his innocence. And then he never proves it. And so it feels like that's just a major hole missing in your plot that you'd want to like finish that. And so it's very weird that it just left it open like that. So despite the movie being pretty entertaining, I have to say I just didn't enjoy the ending. It got to where I was like, how are they going to get him to be not put in jail at this point, and it was just like they didn't know either. So yeah, that's Maniac Cop.